Alright, this is going to be a video on rebuilding XR250R front fork. This one I already did right there. And let's see, you got your service manual here. This is the old unrebuilt. You can see it's all cracked. So what you're going to need, this is a factory Honda SS8. That's what the manual recommends. Should be good enough. I don't race or anything. Some factory fork seal and dust seal. Got 7/8 and a 17. There's probably, either a closer metric for the larger, but that 7/8 seemed to work for me. A Phillips head screwdriver, some gloves, and some safety goggles. This is a page of the manual, 318. I kind of just use this as a guideline because it doesn't tell you everything in here, but this is like the disassembly of everything, so it's good to have for reference for sure. So, all right, I think I got a little head cam mounted up here. I think. If you see this is my, I don't have battery in my GoPro, so this is what I've resorted to. Isn't that nice? I believe this way, hopefully, you can see what I'm doing. So, let's get started. First things first. Old man beer, because it's low calorie, right? I guess. Okay. It'd be easier if you had a vise, to be honest, but I don't. So this is how we're gonna work it. I'm trying not to strip these out because the replacements, they actually give you zip ties, so I think these are better than zip ties, to be honest. You know what, maybe I did take this one all the way out. Can't remember. I'll just take it all the way out, no big deal. We are getting rid of this, so I'm just going to make it easier on myself and cut it off. Try not to hit your tube, fork tube, and they always say cut away from you anyway, right? And there we go, and actually, if you look, I guess it's leaking a little bit. This one, yeah, there's some oil there, you see that? So that, trash. Okay, now, this is the next thing we have to take off. This right here is, I believe, just to add oil afterwards. I don't really see any other point. I pulled it out and there is, it's just a brass screw with a washer, rubber washer in there for sealed. But I need to take this off, and so what I did first was I actually used a pipe wrench and put it around here and put my 7/8 on here, and I started to kind of mar up the tube a little bit, and you don't want to do that. So, a trick that I read on the wonderful internet, take your fork tube, you put it back up in there, right there. You don't want to squeeze down here because that's where the threads kick. So you want to take that and use this as your vise. It's better than making some kind of makeshift thing with your own vise. Hopefully you can see this. So actually, another tool you'll need is a 12 mil for these. I didn't say that in the beginning of the video, but That is going to help, and that is not going to work right that. I don't think you have to tighten it down too hard, because it really gives a pretty good grip on there. So. There she goes. You will need drain pan for the oil. Okay. Now this is a bit tricky, but underneath here there is a nut that holds the thread so you can unscrew this cap. And so it's kind of hard, but what you can do is you can kind of take that spring and use that as some help for yourself. Take your 17 and get it right in there, and that spring will kind of hold it in place. There you go, broken loose. Be careful because it's going to be, this is what holds this is your oil seal for the top here, so. And I don't know why, but the other one too, it tightens up for a second. So just know that that's happened to me too, if it happens to you. And it's like 3/4 of the way out, it just randomly tightens up, so. Just so you know, now you know. Bill Nye. Okay, so there's this, then there's a washer. Now you take your yep, and let's just drain the oil now. Actually, this stuff looks the other stuff was super metallic and nasty. Oh, there's some nasty stuff there. So what you want to do is they say you want to pump this 10 times. So I guess just keep doing it until your fluid comes out. It's like 12. That's just what it says. It looks like it's falling out to me. So the other one, the pumping helped a lot more. That one not so much. Okay, now, you'll read in here if you're following this. Here's where he's at, and the slide, and yeah, and here's him pumping it 8 to 10 times. I just left it upside down. And then here's where they say that you need to put it in a vise and unscrew the, what do they call it? The center bolt and sealing washer. It's the dampening assembly is what I was pumping there. Right here. So they say you need to remove that, but I actually didn't have a big enough Allen. It's this one right here. You can see that. Oh fuck. You're supposed to take this out and check your compression, your dampening. So take that, there's a dust seal here, you pop that out. Maybe a few more tools needed than I originally showed you. Here's a pick, Harbor Freight. These are like $1 for like 8 of them. Your screwdriver and count the clicks. So mine was at 15, so hopefully this one's at 15 as well. So this just adjusts your valve. Okay, this one was one more than the other. So there, that's your, they say to go all the way down. I don't really know how necessary that is because that's just adjusting how much valve or how much oil your valve lets out. Okay, so like I was saying, It says you need to pull it out. I don't think you do. Pop that out. Try not to hit your fork tube. Hopefully you can see this. It's a retainer clip. Now, should be able to take this and there you go. There are your seals. Got your dust seal on top, and your oil seal right there. So, see if you can see. Just eventually dirt gets in there and ruins the seal. It doesn't look too bad, but yeah, we're gonna change it anyway because new bike. These, oh, actually save these. This is really the only one we need to save. So clean it up nice. Not too crazy, but so here's your new seals. That's your oil seal, dust seal. Oil seal is going to go open spot down. So you know, you could probably just give it a little prime, maybe. I don't know, probably totally not necessary, but why not, right? Take this. It's kind of a tight, supposed to be. Slide that down. Now this is where they say that you need a fork seal driver, which is like a $35, $40 part on Amazon or eBay. Motion Pro makes one, which is probably, you know, good. Works well for this application, I'm sure, but I'm cheap ass and I did not do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the old seal, move this up so it won't bottom out. Take the old seal, same way. You know what, I'm going to go bottom to bottom. No, I'm going to go top to bottom. So same way as that one went in. Throw it down. Clean it off. Now take some regular old cheap electrical tape. So this is our homemade fork seal driver. New seals down there, and we're going to drive it down with the factory seal with the stopper. So really it should only take one I think that's good. And there's our old one. So here we go. She's seated in there. Install your new dust seal. And this one is just going to sit in there, and then our retaining clip. Make sure all the edges are seated. There you go, new seal installed. Now, factory amount 16 ounces. These bottles are 16 and change. So they say to fill it up to just about the edge there. I'm doing it with my spring out. So now it'll look like it's going to fill up. That's because the oil's going through that valve. And it can take some time to soak through there. Now I looked up if you can overfill these. Some people say you can blow your seals out, but you're not going to overfill it with 0.5 extra ounces, so you won't have to worry about that. Let's take the whole thing, fill it to pretty much the top. Now, when you pull your tube back down, well, you know what? You're going to need to grab your rod. Probably could clean this off, not going to. I might have to come down here for a second, hopefully you can still see. So there's probably a better method to do this. I clearly don't know the best method, but what I'm trying to do is pop this down, get my spring around it. There we go. Okay, I might have to work down here just because this is kind of the tricky part. It's only my second time doing it, so forgive me if for my method in the madness, I guess you could call it. Try to hold it against that spring so it won't drop. Place your washer here. Cap. I'm gonna hand tighten this and get my torque wrench out and go from there. Well, there's 17, it's not much. That's all I need. Pull that out. Sealed there. I would just kind of give that oil seal a little wipe down, make sure you don't get any dirt on it. Now you can take your fork tube, slide it up. I did not see a torque spec for this top nut in here. Just doesn't say. So good and tight. So we'll come back over here, throw it in our old vise. And there you have it. Go back to your, forget to set your dampening. 15 clicks. Reinstall dust seal. There she is. Rebuilt front fork 2002 XR 250R. Thanks for watching.